Aquarius, I felt last month's tarot reading was something of a sad one. You were losing the gift that you'd been given by the universe and being pulled back into materialism. So what does April bring for you? I have to say that I have recorded this long before April, because when it'll be issued will be near the end of Ramadan, and I don't do readings during Ramadan. But the energy has gone into it for April, I want to reassure you. Why has all this happened to you? Well, the universe does want to reassure you that you're strong, bottom right. You have this inner strength to deal with this. I don't think you feel you do. So what's this April all about? Well, it's actually, this is the central card. You moving on and dumping baggage. You changing your life for the good, and dumping baggage with it. Part of that baggage, I believe, is fear. Fear of what's happened in the past. Fear that the past will dictate the future. And it's your past that you need to dump. And once you live for the present, then you won't have a past any longer. So therefore it cannot dominate your future. And maybe you will be less fearful of it. In the future though, it does see you going inside yourself looking for answers, which I think is very positive. The best place to find them is where you should find them. Now, my view of why you lost your gifts was you focused too much on materialism. But there's a bit of a dichotomy here, because if you focus on long-term investments, then I believe that it's a very good outcome for you, in fact a wonderful outcome for you. But if you're focusing more on the short term and sort of, short-term investments, and if I move this money here and there and blah 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 blah, then I believe that it's not so positive for you. You see, the outcome is the Sun card. This is, multiple blessings again. But it's all to do with you. It's all to do with how you feel. You're radiating these blessings. People can see it. And that's because you've moved on. Wow! We're back there again, Aquarius. Let's look at each energy individually. The overall energy of this reading is about you moving on from the past and dumping baggage, not allowing the past to dominate your current, nor indeed your future. But what is the past, when, if you believe like me that time is a human construct, is not the past you extrapolating your feelings of the present into an imaginary holding place. The past, however real it may feel to you, doesn't exist. So moving on from it is as simple as just living for the day. Yeah, you can dump the baggage, you can move on very easily by no longer focusing on it at all. And I'm certain that's what the universe is wanting you to do. And I'm certain that you're very close to being able to do this, Aquarius. And I know that your past hasn't been wonderful, Aquarius. But why have you been through this? Well, this was so that you would be able to understand what I've just told you. That the past doesn't exist. It's only you extrapolating from the present and put it in a holding place that you believe to be the past. But it's not there. It never happened. And it's so that you should learn this, that this happened to you. And the universe is saying, and I know you're saying, why me, why me? The universe, God, Allah, is telling you, well, you're strong enough. We chose you because you'd be able to deal with this. So see it as a blessing. And I know, you're shouting at your phone or your computer or whatever you watch this on, going, Java, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're Dagenham. You're Dagenham. Yeah, 3 stops past barking. Well, you know, you're entitled to have that opinion. Very much so. And I know you'll also be saying, look, there's got to be a past because other people collude in that past. It's simply your projection on them. If you were to sit them down and get them to detail that past, it probably would have some elements that were the same, but many elements that weren't. And it's this past that you've created that is making you lie awake at night. Right now, lie awake at night with fear. Fear of your own past, and fear that your past will repeat itself when they're all constructs of your mind. I think in the future you will begin to think about what I'm saying. Think about how to explain all these seeming contradictions in your life. Explain how things have been crazy over the last few months for you. And what is the explanation? And the only way you can find an explanation is within your own mind, because they are all located within your own mind. So having a deep dive into your own mind is the very best thing you can do. And it doesn't matter if you miss some opportunities, because what are opportunities? What is anything, you know? And you need to resolve this yourself. And for some time now, the universe has been sending me some rather strange messages, and I finally get it. And these strange messages are that long-term investments are favourable, whereas focusing on materialism, focusing on financial markets is negative. And at last I'm beginning to get it. You're being encouraged to make long-term investments, but these are long-term investments in you, in humanity. So for example, I grow teak trees in my garden. They're worth a fortune, but they take forever to grow. I've also got mahogany trees in my garden, and they're worthless at the moment, just because of fashion. But I'm not going to chop them down, because who knows how fashion might change. And so you're being encouraged to make this sort of investment, not play in financial markets. Right now, the German economy isn't looking in rude health. largely because of the loss of gas from Russia. And you have to say, was all this deliberate by the United States to destroy the German economy? It certainly feels like it. Because you see, the German economy was all about long-term investments by medium-sized companies, long-term investments in training, in human resources, long-term investments in their community, long-term investments in capital equipment, and the short-term thinking of American capitalism has certainly right now won out. And there's a warning against that here. And you know, I think this is the month when the penny begins to drop with a great many of us of what really is wrong with society. More and more of us are going to say, hang on, that's what's going on. Oh my God. Oh my God. So there's a very clear steer towards the German system and against the North American system in this spread. And taking all this on board is going to be difficult, Aquarius. But that's why you've been chosen, because you're strong enough to take it all on board. You're strong enough to overcome what you perceive to be your past. You're strong enough to live for the future. Live for the current, whilst investing for the future, having belief that there is a future. And this is your current saying, yes, things can be good. We don't have to look to a dark past to extrapolate the future. We can just invest and recognise that it's a good future. And if you do that, you're going to be so blessed, so blessed. But you know, it's almost you're blessing yourself. It's you stepping out and realising that you have this wonderful power that's been given to you by the universe, by God, by Allah, to change your trajectory. And this is you being confident in doing that, Aquarius. Aquarius, recent months have been a roller coaster for you. You're probably asking why. Well, I can tell you. It's because you're strong enough to deal with it. You're strong enough to deal with it. And what you're being urged now is to abandon your fears. Your fears come from what you perceive as having been a terrible past, a dreadful past for you. And you must move on and dump the baggage. But the real way to do that is by realising that there is no time. There is only the present. So therefore what you perceive as your terrible past is only an extrapolation from the current of bad things and putting them in a holding pocket that you call the past. Very difficult to comprehend, I know, but this is what you're fearful of. And you know, if there is no past, there really is no future. But that doesn't stop you from doing things that maybe take a long time, investing, as it were, in your future, because that is saying from the current that I have a future and the future is good. What the universe doesn't want you to do is engage in playing the money markets, in looking for short-term gain. It doesn't want that from you. It wants you to think of the long term and Can you see the subtle difference between this? One is about almost short-term dishonesty, and the other is about long-term massive honesty. And if you can grasp these concepts, Aquarius, I'm just going to say the sun will shine on you, but you will make the sun shine on you. It'll be you that's doing it. It'll be you that's creating your reality. And once you've achieved that after this month, you're going to have to try and sit down and work it all out in your mind, because of what I tell you is what's happened. It's just my version. You need to work it out for yourself. But it is rather beautiful, Aquarius.